one of the critical issues in determining whether someone can work after brain injury is whether or not the frontal lobe issues, which are very difficult to test in neuropsychological testing, actually specifically create barriers to successful employment. Some of the things on the list of frontal lobe issues would include absent-mindedness, indecisiveness, non-spontaneity, low motivation, disorganization, inflexibility, poor planning and anticipation, failure to learn from experience, poor judgment, non-reinforcing behavior, risk-seeking behavior, disinhibition, impulsivity, stimulus-bound behavior, impolitic speech, immature behavior, neutral affect, poor insight, poor empathy, self-centeredness. And all of these frontal lobe issues tend to merge together, and you could say that, for example, your indecisiveness is as much a problem of poor planning, which is another thing on our list, or poor judgment, and losing confidence in your own judgment. I think confidence in judgment is a big part of where the indecisiveness comes from, because as you look back on the months or the years since your injury, it seems like you've made so many bad decisions. So then when the input that should come in some sort of a coordinated fashion, like we might coordinate the sound file to the video in what we're doing now, when the input comes in out of sync, and then you've had all this experience with having made bad judgments, you start to lose confidence in what is now even a more limited ability, and it gets to be a synergistic problem. The important thing to remember about frontal lobe issues is they do tend to overlap, they interlace with each other, they create synergistic problems, and they do, in general, they're not totally different symptoms than we would see in someone who doesn't have a brain injury. It's just the way in which they interrelate, the prevalence of them, the intensity of them, and the degree to which they seem to put the brain injured person back to what you might expect from a child or a teenager versus what you would expect from an adult. It's very important to understand when you're talking about frontal lobe issues that you're talking about something where the frontal lobes are the part of us that changes the most from the time we're 10 years old to the time we're 25 years old. So when you have damage to the frontal lobes and damage to executive functioning, you may actually be talking about a huge change in the maturity level of the person.